Espionage, the art and intrigue of spying. Espionage, often glamorized in books and films, is the covert art of obtaining confidential information without the holder's permission. It is a practice as old as history itself, playing a critical role in the rise and fall of empires, shaping the outcomes of wars, and influencing political landscapes. Historical overview. The roots of spying can be traced back to ancient civilizations. The Egyptians, Greeks, and Romans all employed spies. Sun Tzu, the Chinese military strategist, emphasized the importance of espionage in his seminal work, The Art of War, written around the 5th century BCE. He believed knowing your enemy was essential to victory, and spying was the key to gaining that knowledge. One of the most famous early examples of counterintelligence occurred during the American Revolution. Nathan Hale, a young soldier for the Continental Army, volunteered to spy on British troops. Captured by the British, Hale's last words reportedly were, "I only regret that I have but one life to lose for my country," embodying the patriotism and peril associated with spying. Espionage in the modern era. The 20th century saw intelligence evolve with advancements in technology and the onset of global conflicts. The two world wars and the subsequent Cold War marked the golden age of espionage, characterized by legendary spies, sophisticated gadgets, and intricate networks of informants. World War II, spying was pivotal in this global conflict. The British intelligence agency MI6 and the American Office of Strategic Services, OSS, were at the forefront of intelligence gathering. Code-breaking efforts, such as the British cracking of the German Enigma code, were instrumental in the Allies' victory. Cold War. The Cold War between the United States and the Soviet Union was essentially an espionage war. Agencies like the CIA, Central Intelligence Agency, and the KGB, Komitet Gosударственной Безопасности, engaged in a shadowy battle of reconnaissance, sabotage, and counterintelligence. Stories of defectors, double agents, and counterintelligence scandals captured the world's imagination. One of the most famous incidents was the capture of Soviet spy Rudolf Abel by the FBI in 1957, leading to a dramatic spy swap involving U-2 pilot Francis Gary Powers in 1962. Such exchanges became iconic moments in the history of espionage. Espionage techniques and tools. Doping involves various techniques and tools, from human intelligence, HUMINT, to signals intelligence, SIGINT. Human intelligence, HUMINT. This involves gathering information through interpersonal contact. Spies infiltrate enemy lines, posing as locals or officials, to extract sensitive information. Recruitment of informants and double agents is also a key element. Signals intelligence, SIGINT. With the advent of technology, intercepting communications has become crucial. This includes wiretapping, monitoring radio signals, and cracking encrypted messages. The advent of the Internet has expanded SIGINT into cyber surveillance, where state and non-state actors hack into computer systems to steal data. Espionage in popular culture. Spying has long captured the public's imagination, inspiring a wealth of literature and cinema. The suave, martini-drinking spy James Bond, created by Ian Fleming, is perhaps the most iconic fictional spy. The tales of Agent 007 are filled with exotic locales, high-tech gadgets, and nefarious villains. John le Carré's novels, such as Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, present a more realistic, albeit grim, view of espionage. His stories delve into the moral ambiguities and psychological toll of living a double life. Personal reflections. My fascination with intelligence began as a child, devouring books by Fleming and le Carré. The idea of a world where ordinary people could lead extraordinary secret lives was thrilling. As I grew older, I realized the real world of wiretapping was far from the glamour depicted in fiction. It involves immense risk, ethical dilemmas, and often, tragic outcomes. Meeting a former intelligence officer during a college lecture was a turning point. He spoke of the intense pressure, the constant fear of exposure, and the heavy burden of secrets. His stories, while devoid of Bond-like glamour, were filled with real-life drama and heroism. It is an ever-evolving field, continually adapting to technological advancements and geopolitical shifts. It remains a crucial aspect of national security and international relations. While popular culture often romanticizes the life of a spy, the reality is a complex, dangerous, and morally ambiguous world. The history of Lowdown is a testament to human ingenuity, bravery, and the relentless quest for knowledge. It will continue to shape our world, often behind the scenes, influencing events in ways most of us may never fully understand. Whether through the stealthy footsteps of a secret agent or the silent hum of a computer virus, the shadowy world of reconnaissance remains as intriguing and vital as ever. How technology has transformed modern espionage. The landscape of counterintelligence has dramatically evolved with the advent of advanced technology. Modern observation techniques are now profoundly shaped by digital innovations, transforming the ways information is gathered, transmitted, and analyzed. Here's a look at how technology has revolutionized espionage in the 21st century. Cyber espionage. One of the most significant impacts of technology on doping is the rise of cyber espionage. This involves the use of computers and the internet to infiltrate networks, steal data, and monitor communications. Hacking and malware. State-sponsored hacking groups target government agencies, corporations, and individuals to steal sensitive information. Techniques include phishing, installing malware, and exploiting vulnerabilities in software. Notable incidents include the 2015 hack of the U.S. Office of Personnel Management, which compromised the personal data of millions of federal employees, and the 2016 cyber attacks allegedly orchestrated by Russian hackers to influence the U.S. presidential election. Advanced Persistent Threats, APTs. These are prolonged and targeted cyber attacks in which an intruder gains access to a network and remains undetected for an extended period. APTs allow spies to gather significant amounts of data and monitor activities over time. The Stuxnet virus, discovered in 2010, is an example of cyber espionage that was used to damage Iran's nuclear program. Signals intelligence, SIGINT. Technology has vastly improved the ability to intercept and analyze communications. This includes everything from traditional phone calls to encrypted internet communications. Satellite surveillance. Modern satellites can intercept communication signals across the globe. They are equipped with advanced sensors and cameras capable of capturing high-resolution images and gathering electronic signals. Cryptography and decryption. As encryption technologies become more sophisticated, so do the methods to break them. Agencies like the National Security Agency, NSA, invest heavily in developing algorithms to decrypt encrypted communications. If you found value in this video, please give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe to support this channel. Please share across social media platforms to reach a wider audience. Big Data and Artificial Intelligence, AI. The ability to collect and analyze vast amounts of data using AI has transformed spying. Data mining. Intelligence agencies now have access to massive datasets, including social media activity, financial transactions, and travel records. Big data analytics helps identify patterns and connections that would be impossible to detect manually. Machine learning. AI and machine learning algorithms are used to predict and detect suspicious activities. For example, algorithms can analyze network traffic to identify potential cyber threats or monitor social media for signs of radicalization. Drones and remote sensing. Unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, commonly known as drones, have become a vital tool in modern observation. Surveillance and reconnaissance. Drones equipped with high-resolution cameras and sensors can conduct surveillance operations in hostile or inaccessible areas. They can monitor movements, capture images, and gather real-time intelligence without putting human operatives at risk. Electronic warfare. Some drones are equipped with electronic warfare capabilities, such as jamming enemy communications or intercepting signals. Biometrics and surveillance technologies. Biometric technologies and advanced surveillance systems have become essential in tracking and identifying individuals. Facial recognition. Surveillance cameras equipped with facial recognition software can identify individuals in real time. This technology is used in airports, public spaces, and border crossings to monitor and track persons of interest. Behavioral analytics. Advanced surveillance systems can analyze body language, movement patterns, and other behaviors to detect suspicious activities. This is often used in conjunction with AI to enhance security measures. Real-world examples. Edward Snowden revelations. The disclosures by former NSA contractor Edward Snowden in 2013 highlighted the extent of modern surveillance capabilities. The leaked documents revealed that the NSA was collecting vast amounts of data on global communications, including phone calls, emails, and Internet activity. China's social credit system. China's extensive use of surveillance technology, including facial recognition and big data analytics, to monitor and control its population is a prime example of modern espionage techniques in action. The social credit system uses data from various sources to assess and score citizens' behavior, affecting their access to services and opportunities. Technology has fundamentally transformed the landscape of espionage, making it more sophisticated and far-reaching. While traditional methods of human intelligence gathering remain relevant, the digital age has introduced new dimensions to the field. Cyber espionage, big data analytics, AI, and advanced surveillance technologies are now at the forefront of modern espionage, providing unprecedented capabilities to gather and analyze information. As technology continues to advance, so too will the methods and tools of espionage, ensuring that the shadowy world of spies remains as complex and dynamic as ever. Famous espionage cases during the Cold War. The Cold War, a period of intense geopolitical tension between the United States and the Soviet Union, saw numerous espionage cases that captured the world's attention. These cases involved daring missions, double agents, defections, and betrayals that shaped the course of history. Here are some of the most famous espionage cases from that era. The Rosenberg case. Julius and Ethel Rosenberg. Espionage for the Soviet Union in the early 1950s. The Rosenbergs were American citizens convicted of passing atomic secrets to the Soviet Union. Julius worked as an engineer for the U.S. Army Signal Corps, and Ethel was accused of assisting him. Their trial and subsequent execution in 1953 were highly controversial, with debates over the fairness of the trial and the extent of their guilt persisting to this day. The case exemplified the fear and suspicion of the era. The Cambridge Five. Kim Philby, Donald McLean, Guy Burgess, Anthony Blunt, and John Cairncross. These five formed a Soviet spy ring within British intelligence in the 1930s to 1950s. The Cambridge Five were British double agents who passed sensitive information to the Soviet Union. Recruited while studying at the University of Cambridge, they infiltrated various levels of the British government and intelligence services. Kim Philby, perhaps the most infamous member, worked for MI6 and was suspected of multiple betrayals before defecting to the Soviet Union in 1963. The group's actions had significant impacts on Western intelligence operations and heightened paranoia about Soviet infiltration. The U-2 incident. Francis Gary Powers, a U-2 spy plane pilot captured by the Soviet Union in 1960. Francis Gary Powers was a pilot for the CIA's U-2 reconnaissance program. His plane was shot down by a Soviet surface-to-air missile while flying a high-altitude reconnaissance mission over Soviet territory. Powers was captured and later exchanged for Soviet spy Rudolf Abel in 1962. The incident caused a major diplomatic crisis, as it exposed U.S. espionage efforts and derailed a planned summit between the U.S. and Soviet leaders. The Mitrokhin Archive. Vasily Mitrokhin, a Soviet KGB archivist who defected to the West in 1992 with documents covering the 1950s to 1980s. Vasily Mitrokhin was a senior archivist for the KGB who secretly copied extensive KGB files over many years. In 1992, he defected to the UK, bringing with him the Mitrokhin Archive, which detailed Soviet espionage operations worldwide. The archive revealed the identities of numerous Soviet spies and the extent of Soviet intelligence activities, causing significant diplomatic repercussions and enhancing Western understanding of Soviet espionage tactics. Operation Gold. CIA and MI6 joint operation to tap Soviet communication lines in Berlin in the 1950s. Operation Gold, known as Operation Stopwatch by the British, was a joint effort by the CIA and MI6 to tunnel under East Berlin and tap into Soviet military communication lines. The operation was compromised from the start due to information provided by George Blake, a British double agent working for the KGB. Despite this, the tunnel successfully operated for almost a year before its discovery in 1956, providing valuable intelligence on Soviet military and political activities. The Walker Spy Ring. John Anthony Walker and Associates, Espionage for the Soviet Union in 1967 to 1985. John Anthony Walker was a U.S. Navy warrant officer who led one of the most damaging espionage rings in U.S. history. He recruited his son, Michael Walker, brother Arthur Walker, and friend Jerry Whitworth to help him provide the Soviet Union with classified naval communications. The ring operated for nearly 2 decades before being exposed in 1985. Walker's actions severely compromised U.S. naval operations and intelligence. The Spy Swap. Rudolf Abel, a Soviet spy, and Francis Gary Powers, a U.S. pilot. Exchange of captured spies in 1962. Rudolf Abel, a Soviet spy captured in the U.S. in 1957, was exchanged for U-2 pilot Francis Gary Powers, who had been shot down and captured by the Soviets in 1960. The exchange took place on the Glienicke Bridge between East and West Berlin, symbolizing the tense but pragmatic negotiations between the two superpowers. The event was later dramatized in the film, Bridge of Spies. These cases highlight the high-stakes, high-risk world of Cold War espionage, where the line between hero and traitor often blurred, and the consequences of betrayal were profound. The legacy of these spies and their actions continues to shape the field of intelligence and international relations to this day. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe to our channel for more self-improvement videos. Comment below to tell us how useful you found this video. Remember to share on various social media platforms to reach a wider audience. Click the notification bell to get notified anytime we post a new video. Thanks for watching, see you in the next video.